Welcome to the Cybersecurity Sales Made Easy podcast, where you get real-world growth and mindset hacks, all designed to accelerate your journey to become a cybersecurity hero for your small business clients. And now, here's your host, Cybersecurity Sherpa, Jennifer Bleam.
Hey, thanks for joining me again. All right, so we are talking all week about Cybersecurity Awareness Month, which is really a big deal here in the States. There's always a lot of press that happens, and your clients and your prospects are probably already aware of it, or they certainly will be within the next week. So how can you, as an MSP, as an IT service provider, as an MSSP, really use this as an opportunity to leverage the press, show up in a pertinent manner, and showcase your expertise? Well, you were probably hoping I would give you this idea because it's probably already in the front of your mind, and that is social media, right? Almost everybody is on either Facebook or LinkedIn almost every single day, and most IT companies that I talk to also have a social media presence, again, either on LinkedIn or Facebook, sometimes both. So I'm not going to go through and tell you what type of content is best for each of those two media. You may also be on Twitter, you may be on Pinterest, but I'm going to give you a big, long list, not just 3 tips, but a really big, long list of what you can use and what you can post on social media. Now, use your better judgment. If I tell you to post a meme, that's obviously better for Facebook, not so good for LinkedIn, although those lines are starting to blur a little bit of late. But definitely use as many of these ideas as you can. And obviously, October has 31 months. So that is 31 opportunities for you to show up in front of your clients and your prospects, in front of your audience, to share your knowledge when it comes to cybersecurity expertise. Now, before you tell me, I'm concerned that my clients, I'm concerned that my audience, they're going to get sick of hearing about me and about cybersecurity, let me put your mind at ease. There is a recent Hootsuite study that says most of the things you post only show up to a little less than 5% of your audience. So there is a very, very good chance that most of your audience is not going to see every single post that you make. So feel free to come up with 31 ideas, or if you want to hedge your bets, come up with 15 ideas for cybersecurity. The other 15 ideas can be more in the IT realm, but then you'll have one extra to do whatever you want. Maybe it's a Halloween post or something like that. Okay, so on to the ideas. Remember, your job is to educate your clients and your prospects so that they will think of you and you only and you first when they are finally ready to invest in cybersecurity. Okay, big list. So first of all, on the fun side, memes, cartoons, and jokes. This is an awesome opportunity to poke fun at our industry, to poke fun at the way technology has changed and the way cybersecurity has evolved and just how crazy the world is. So do some Google searches, get some memes, some jokes, some cartoons, and use those inside of your social media. Again, those are probably better on Facebook than LinkedIn, but use your judgment there. Okay, the next thing, we've talked a little bit about offering infographics or offering free reports. Certainly, if you are already doing that in your newsletter, make sure you cross-post it inside of your social media. You don't want to just do random acts of marketing. Make sure everything ties together. So if you've got pieces inside of your newsletter, make sure you're advertising those giveaways on your social as well. Speaking of newsletter, if you wrote an original article, you want to create that also as a blog post. So copy and paste that content over to your blog and then advertise that blog, you guessed it, on social media. So there's another idea for you. Now, if you are offering a risk assessment or an event this month, or maybe at the beginning of November to tie into Cybersecurity Awareness Month, make sure you're talking about that on social. Advertise those things early, often. Make sure you're making those call to actions. Explain that there is scarcity inside of your webinar software or inside of your room. There's a limit to how many people can fit. There's a limit to how many risk assessments you can do. So make sure you are talking about that often on social. Okay, here's a creative idea. Poll your audience. Ask them what keeps them up at night when it comes to cybersecurity. What is the #1 question they have when it comes to cybersecurity? What is the best way that they want to try to educate their clients? What do they or their end users? What's the mistake that your audience is concerned that their end users are going to make? what you're doing is not only engaging your audience, but you're getting some really great market research done so you can know what's inside the head of your prospects and your clients so that you can create great content later on down the road, whether it's a webinar or an infographic or something to answer the frequently asked questions that small businesses in your area have. So poll your group of people that are following you. Okay, we've talked about Facebook Lives in the past. Pull up a recent hack. Unfortunately, there are a lot to choose from. So pull up a recent hack and talk about what they could have done to prevent it, or talk about how that could happen to your clients if they don't put some routine pieces of protection in place. So Facebook Lives are awesome. Everyone loves a pat on the back. So give a client some kudos with their permission about some recent training you did for them or a solid conversation you had that just demonstrated how astute they are when it comes to cybersecurity, the types of good questions they asked, maybe the type of protection that they put in place, although that's really asking for, a target to be put on your client's back. But try to find a way to include clients and tag clients in these types of cybersecurity awareness type of posts. Maybe share a couple of stats. I'm always a little reluctant. I don't want you to stat your people to death, but a couple of stats through the month would be appropriate. And then finally, what about some screenshots of phishing attacks or some screenshots of the newest, latest thing, which is, hey, your email didn't go through. Click here to put in your username and password. And when you go out and try to do that, it is obvious to you and I that that is a fake site. But we all know it's not obvious to 100% of your client base and your prospect base. So it would be a great service for you to go out on social and create a spot the phishing email with maybe 3 or 4 little circles saying, here's the first thing you should do. Here's the second thing you should have noticed. Here's the third thing. Make sure you hover over links, right? These things that are very basic to us, and we know these things like the back of our hands, but your clients and prospects often don't, or they get busy and they forget. So there's nothing wrong with reminding them. So National Cybersecurity Awareness Month is coming up. Social media, make sure you're using it often. My challenge would be to come up with 31 separate posts. I probably just gave you ideas for 16 or 17 just now. So duplicate a couple of those ideas, use more than one meme, go live more than once. You can absolutely do 31. If you want to be a little less of a 10x kind of person, you want to cut that number in half, go to 15 or 16, but use social media all month long and watch the engagement go up, watch the questions coming to you, and leverage this to become that cybersecurity expert in your industry. So that is it for now. Come back tomorrow. We're going to be talking about one more tip, which is how to create infographics, which are fun, great downloads, and I'll talk to you all about that tomorrow. But for now, it's Jennifer Bleam, Cybersecurity Sherpa, signing off.
To learn more about how you can become a cybersecurity hero for your clients, request your hero assessment today. MSPsalesrevolution.com/hero.